Season 3 of the Elestriad is now in full swing as we bring you the Sweet 16 match between reigning Elestriad champion BeanSoldier, representing Demeter and the Earth Pantheon, and Elestriad newcomer LukeVonKarma, representing Poseidon and the Water Pantheon. I'm the Law, and I'll be your commentator for this epic clash, but if you want to clash in style, Shattered Stars Scorpio is still available until the end of the month, bringing incredible full art variants for both Arcalith, My Beloved, and Mount Olympus, as well as some incredible stellars in Reverse Stellar Jolton, the X out of 99 Arcalith, and the coveted X out of 10 Phosphocell. BeanSoldier has a lot of pressure placed on his shoulders being the reigning champion of Season 2. Let's see what he's got cooked up for us this time.
What's up, men bugs? It's your boy Josh from the Elestriad, aka BeanSoldier, and last week we narrowly escaped the clutches of Powder and the Solar strategy with that crazy Luster gun. But we're back for week 2, and we're going up against Danny, good friend, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to bring a strategy that you are not prepared for. And that is one of Major Eye's favorites, and that is Waspivy, baby. Let's go. I'll be honest, I've never played this deck before until I played Danny. Done a little bit of testing, and I think to stop really powerful cards in his strategy like Tsunami, we're going to try this out and see what happens. So, playing Waspivy, if you're unaware, this card is unaffected by all counter runes when it's ascended from Nectar, and we're going to play all of the consistency tools that we possibly can to make sure that happens. Rabbit is phenomenal going first, as well as Elechick, and Nectar is also a great card going for first or second, paired along with all of the tools that it needs to go into Waspivy. So, with the chick, we're playing the 2 copies of Demeter and Demeter's best friend, Equilinx, to put a ton of pressure if he is on a crazy Poseidon Water Nexus strategy. Equilinx is going to be an absolute house, going to pop that Poseidon and any other runes he puts on the field. We're also pairing along Viserys and his best friend Mudlet to take advantage of anything he would put on the field. Viserys just being an absolute house, and Mudlet even being able to out Akuribus if he decides to play that this week. Moving on to our runes, we're playing the 1 Earthquake and the 1 Laurels. Wish we could play more copies of these, but alas we cannot. And then we're also playing the mandatory 3 copies of Ambrosia. This deck is very expensive, especially needing to use the artifacts that we're going to go over in a second. So we need to max out on these copies of Ambrosia to make sure that we stay alive and in the game. Moving on to the counter rune suite, we are playing the 3 copies of Gorgons, the 3 copies of Altar. Altar's particularly fantastic, especially if he's going into like a DRAKKIng strategy. Being able to put that stuff to defense and then running over with like a Viserys is fantastic. And then also the 3 Poison Tip to pair along with our Nectar, so we talked about at the beginning, and a card that I have defended since day 1, Argo. Love this card. It's fantastic, and I hope I get to show the power of this card in my clash versus Danny, with other cards to pair with it, Poison Tunic to go with the Nectar Waspivy package, and a secret deck that I think will come up, hopefully, especially if he tries to Eddy by Waspivy, and that is Scythe of Demeter. We're mainly playing this as an Earth Nexus bank, but also as obviously the Argo target to protect things like our Rabbit, our Equilinxes, our Waspivy even, from things like Eddy because of that 3 defense buff. Also, if we happen to run over something by battle, we're going to be able to heal 1 spirit, and we've got the 2, if we've got the Demeter up, we're going to heal for 2, which in an expensive deck like this, any type of spirit recovery is more than welcome. So, that's going to do it for the main. The spirit deck, nothing super crazy. We are playing the 1 copy of Leviathan. It seems kind of low, but it's mainly just there to water enchant chicks because we're not playing Tsunami in this list. 5 Earth Spirits, and then the rest are Terratluses. So 14 Earth, 5 Thunder, and the 1 Leviathan. Our side deck, just in case Waspivy doesn't work out for us, is meant to pivot back into the regular Earth strategy. So we're playing 1 copy of Aloon and 1 Flare Mine for our tech options with Dense Fog, which has been pretty good against water in the past, especially if they're on like a Galaxy Brew. 2 Cryoblast if he's on just regular water 5s with like Lumberoos and Necruffs. 2 Shield to replace the Argos, and then obviously our Crab friends and Christspore to go back into regular Earth Nexus. 2 Vertilith for stall, and 2 Boombat for Chronodile if he sticks that to the board, in which case I probably just end up losing anyway. But that is going to do it for the profile. Hopefully I made the right decision in bringing this against Danny, but we'll see how it goes. But you're not going to keep me from getting the top 8.
BeanSoldier is bringing one of my absolute favorites from the early Daybreak meta in Waspivy. That bug is no joke with its potential immunity to counter runes. Between Poison Tunic and Poison Tipped Arrow, finding triggers should be a breeze for that Cyanectar, and with Argo and EARTH and Demeter can turn combat into quite the surprising advantage swing to be sure. LukeVonKarma is for sure the underdog, being the newcomer this season, but has already made big strides in proving himself by making it this far. What have you brought for us today?
Hello again. We somehow made it into round 2, and unfortunately I am fighting the last season winner, BeanSoldier TV, who I know personally. Josh, fantastic player. I'm very new, so I'm going in with very low expectations, but I'm going in to have a blast because today I am bringing ba-boom, the DRAKKID. Let's start with the deck profile. We're going to start with the monsters. We're going to go DRAKKID. We got the DRAKKIDs. We've got the DRAKKING, of course. 2 DRAKKIDs, 1 DRAKKING. I like the ratios there. I think we maybe could have gone more harder into DRAKKID, but who knows? We're going to go Galaxy here. Triple Galaxy, triple Foamy. Get the triple Eddie because he's the main man. He's Edward. Triple Ash Rabbit, and we got the 1 Dratagua just to cast. We can special summon it off of the, or special cast it. I'm sorry, off the Foamy. Summon the Kuribus. Of course, we need at least 1 Kuribus, and that is our monster lineup. I think this is pretty solid. I love the Astro Rabbits. We look for our DRAKKIDs. We look for our DRAKKINGs. Look for our Eddies. Anything we need. Foamies gets us any kind of water Elestral we need. Kuribus from the Rock and a Hard Place, and of course the DRAKKIDs and the Rock and a Hard Place as well. So we've got 5 targets for Rock and a Hard Place. Fantastic stuff. I think it is an aggressive lineup, which I think would do awesome. Evoke runes here. We got triple Ambrosia standard. Gotta have this card. The 1 of Poseidon, the requirement. We're actually putting in the main deck Cryoblasts. I think there's a lot of Elestrals that die to this card. I think it's really good. We've got the triple Rock and a Hard Place because you know it. We're summoning DRAKKING this game. We got a triple Tsunami, of course, a classic. These are all our invoked rooms. I counted out the Atlantis because I just couldn't fit it in the deck. There's so many cards I want to put, but I just could not fit them. Let's do the counter runes. We got triple Tsunami, classic, fantastic card for water. Resting on your laurels, of course, a fantastic card. We got Shield of Achilles to counter those big monsters. We got Gorgon's Gaze, triples, very good, and of course the triple Poison Tipped Arrow. Just your almost standard counter rune lineup. I think these are all fantastic and help protect our aggro guys. Put this away, and I'll show you guys the spirit count, and then we'll move to the side deck. We've got triple Zaptors for our bunnies. We've got double Flurmines. These are for our Cryoblasts. And we got triple Owloons. These are for our the DRAKKIDs, DRAKKINGs, etc. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Leviathans. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Got our 20 spirit count. And to flex with our creatures. And Elestrals, our little Elestrals. And now we have our side deck. So we have the Atlantis, just in case we need that stadium. And then we have the Lavalith, of course, fantastic card going second. The 2 double Owloons, just in case, because we also want to side in these Gloombats. Gloombats are great for the back row. Our double Vapyros, triple Specteris. These are for the, of course, the Lavalith, triple Specteris, and triple Nectar of the Gods. I'm sorry, double Nectar of the Gods. Is that 15? I might drop this card somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's right over here. There it is. The last Nectar of the Gods. Boom. Triple Nectar of the Gods, just in case I need the draws, and I need to do that digging power to find more DRAKKINGs, DRAKKIDs, keep up with the advantage. So I think it would be a good option if I need to sideboard in some more stuff. Maybe take out a counter rune or invoke rune here or there. So those are the games. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry, there's my deck. That's it. See you in the round.
It looks like LukeVonKarma is embracing the dark side of the rune with DRAKKING. DRAKKING's ability to steal an Elestral to set up massive pushes cannot be overstated. But my eye is on specifically Kuribus for that 9 attack stat, being able to get over Waspivy pushes. Elestriad Season 3 is in full swing now. Let's dive into the clashes. Alright, looks like we're starting off the clash here with a mulligan out of LukeVonKarma, trying to get a better hand, no doubt. He starts off with a Foamy in defense mode. Absolutely powerful Elestral there, especially with the water rune being able to bring out some of those incredible 1-drops like Eddie. Looks like we're passing it over to BeanSoldier right now, who's going to set up an Astrabbit for his first turn play. Astrabbit, an absolutely powerful Elestral, been proving to be pretty much staple in basically any of these decks so far. He's going to take a look at those top 3 and find one off of there, and then set what looks like 3 back row before passing it over to LukeVonKarma. LukeVonKarma wastes no time and develops an Eddy, absolutely killer card against that Astrabbit, being able to swap it to attack mode here. I'd imagine he's probably also about to swap his Foamy to attack to take that extra crash, and that's exactly what's about to happen here. Foamy getting set up for that big push in. We're gonna see here, is he gonna crash it? Yeah, he's gonna go for the crash. Foamy into Astrabbit. Let's see if BeanSoldier has any kind of a response here. He's thinking about it. Oh, and it's an Argo! Oh, that's an absolutely devastating rune to see here. Argo's going to be able to cast out one of his artifacts out of the deck, and that's going to grab himself a Scythe of Demeter here. That's absolutely killer, because Scythe of Demeter is now going to allow him to not only win this combat, but also get back one of those spirits that he used to Argo in the first place. Foamy's still going to get the trigger here, though. I wonder what LukeVonKarma is going to do about that. BeanSoldier gets to recover that 1 Earth off the Scythe of Demeter, and then Foamy is going to cast out. What's he going to get here? I honestly don't know what he gets to get around this. Oh, it's straight into the Dratagua here. Dratagua is going to allow LukeVonKarma to recover 2 of those water spirits that he's already spent for his plays so far. Absolutely incredible. And I get... Now the question is, does he still want to go and crash the Eddy? Because if I'm not mistaken, that Astrabbit's still at 4 attack. He is not going to go for it. He's just going to pass the turn back to BeanSoldier. I imagine BeanSoldier is going to punish it. And there's the punish with the Viserys. Absolutely incredible Elestral. Going to be coming down with 5 attack here. That can pretty easily clean up the board state. Putting the Astrabbit back into defense is actually really good with the Scythe of Demeter on it, because that means its defense is at 8 right now. That is incredibly powerful. The Viserys declares in and hits the Shield of Achilles. Oh, that's a really good rune to have for LukeVonKarma here, but unfortunately that does also take a good chunk of his spirits down in that process, because it's going to take 2 to remove the Viserys, but that does at least delay the push for another turn. LukeVonKarma is going to draw here, I assume, and what is he going to do to get around this rabbit at this point? Looks like he's going to go fishing with a rabbit of his own. Astrabbit is just, like I said, an absolutely powerful staple for this current format. Being able to look at the top 3 of your deck just by putting a Thunder Spirit on it is really good in any deck. It's not just Thunder right now. And with that said, looks like he's going to find a Poseidon here. That's going to be really powerful, specifically when looking at that Dratagua, because he can just keep re-enchanting the waters and recovering his spirits. Looks like he's going to be bringing down that Poseidon with 4 spirits underneath. That's a very heavy commitment there. He's going to move 1 to the Dratagua and recover with Dratagua's effect. Actually, really powerful play here. He might be stalled out a bit, but at the end of the day, that's still a lot of pressure that he's putting on with that. Oh, and he goes for the rock in a hard place. Oh, I imagine that he's going to be targeting the rabbit, and I don't know, probably one of his back row, I'd imagine. Or is it the Scythe of Demeter? Oh, he's taking out the Scythe of Demeter with it. That's incredible. And now Eddy's going to get the opportunity to send up into Curubis out of deck. Oh my gosh, that's a power play here. Yeah, Eddy's gonna go up into Curubis, and Curubis is gonna give him an option to just remove that rabbit. He doesn't even necessarily have to attack in for it here, which is really useful. Looking to see how this is going to play out here. So with Curubis, it looks like he might be going for the Curubis effect. Yeah, he's going to detach 2 off of the Poseidon in order to try and take out a card on BeanSoldier's field. I imagine he's going to go for the rabbit here. Oh, and that is going to eat the Gorgon's Gaze. This is actually an extremely powerful position for BeanSoldier specifically, because not only does that stop the Curubis effect, but that also blocks it from being able to attack over the rabbit this turn. Looks like LukeVonKarma is just going to pass after that. There's not much he can do, but now he's a sitting duck for that Viserys. Oh, and there's an earthquake coming down for the Curubis. Absolutely critical hit there. And now it really doesn't seem like there's going to be much that he can do if that Viserys does come back down from BeanSoldier here. And that looks like exactly what BeanSoldier is going to do. He's going to redevelop that Viserys that got shielded last turn. I imagine would be going over the Dratagua. He's going to set a back row here, and we're going to see if he's got any kind of surprise pushes out of this. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to declare over the Dratagua and get the Viscerus effect off. It's going to let him cast another Viscerus out of the deck. Actually really potent ability to get pressure onto the board. Just absolutely critical there. Looks like he's going to be putting down an Earth under that Viscerus. That's pretty standard at this point. No time wasted here. LukeVonKarma is going to develop the DRAKKID. Absolutely amazing piece here. Don't know which Elestral he swapped attacks with here. I imagine he probably took the attack position Viscerus attack, but it's not completely clear. Oh, and then he goes for the Rock in a Hard Place. Oh my gosh, this is going to be the critical one to be sure, because Rock in the Hard Place is going to be able to clear up one of these cards and then allows DRAKKID to ascend up into DRAKKING. Yeah, it looks like he's taking the attack position Viscerus out of play here. And then DRAKKID is going to get the special ascension off here if he wants it. Doesn't look like there's any response from BeanSoldier on this one. So he's going to get up into the DRAKKING, but LukeVonKarma's spirit count is getting pretty low here at 5. I imagine that BeanSoldier is not too disappointed to see DRAKKING, because at the end of the day, it still has to be able to clear the board. And it's not really going to be able to attack over both Viscerus and Astrabit here. Even stealing one of them is not going to do it. So DRAKKING's going to swing in here. It's going to hit the Altar of Stars. Oh, that's critical. So he's going to pay from Spirit deck, but BeanSoldier is still going to lose an Elestral here doing that. He's going to have to Nexus from one of his Elestrals to the other in order to change a battle position. And looks like he's going to Nexus from the Rabbit to the Viscerus to put that DRAKKING in defense. That's going to buy him a turn, and that's going to set it up to where Viscerus can clean it up the next turn. That's amazing play from BeanSoldier here, and you have to imagine that LukeVonKarma is probably just thinking, how do I get out of this one? Looks like BeanSoldier is going to go and develop the Elechick here. That's going to allow him to search for the Demeter. That is just absolutely critical here. Demeter is going to allow him to buff up any of his Elestrals to get over stats. While Viscerus is able to get over the DRAKKING, it's still a nice thing to have in the back pocket, and there goes the Demeter coming down with 2 spirits. I imagine it's also to help with a Nexus bank, potentially. It looks like he's actually going to buff one of his Elestrals up with it. Oh, right, there's an Astrabit still on the board here. I didn't see it because it was tucked so far to the bottom. But yeah, no, with that, he should be able to completely clean up the board. Absolutely incredible here. We're going to see Viscerus go over the DRAKKING, and Viscerus is going to be able to special cast another Viscerus out of the deck. This thing just keeps swarming more and more, and the Elechick, now buffed by Demeter, is going to get over the Rabbit. This puts LukeVonKarma on a serious back foot here. He's got 5 spirits left. Granted, BeanSoldier's not looking too much better, only down to 4, but he has the board presence that can absolutely swamp this game out. And it looks like we've got a scoop coming up out of LukeVonKarma. There's just not much he can do once he has that much board presence developed. Absolutely critical clash there. Just, you can't imagine getting put into such a bad position there with the Viscerus. If you let it develop, it's just going to snowball. But BeanSoldier's not out of the woods yet. He still has another match to go here. And we didn't even see Waspivy come down, but we for sure saw those big bodies coming out with Kuribus and DRAKKING. I imagine this second clash is going to be an absolutely incredible one. All right, we're moving into clash number 2 here. LukeVonKarma's looking over his hand. Looks like he doesn't need to take the mulligan this time. He's going to develop the Galaxy. Galaxy is a really powerful water Elestral, able to swap any water enchanted Elestral stats. Really critical here. It's going to move over to BeanSoldier. He's going to develop the Mudlet and put that Galaxy into defense. That Galaxy still only has 2 defense because its own attack and defense swap is still up, and Mudlet's just going to be able to clean it up, no problem. With a back row there, BeanSoldier has pretty good advantage already developed onto the board. I imagine though that LukeVonKarma is going to come back with something here, and there's the DRAKKID to do just that. Going to be able to swap its attack with the Mudlet, so it goes up to a 3 while the Mudlet goes down to a 2. I imagine though that LukeVonKarma probably has something else to develop here. Oh no, the attack swap is going to get eaten by the Gorgon's Gaze here. That's going to completely stop the push out of this DRAKKID. That it's just gonna have to pass the turn from there. Unfortunately, this Drakid is kind of a sitting duck, and BeanSoldier has the Equilinks. Oh no! Any kind of a development of a Nexus Bank here is just gonna clean up the board state. That is a terrible sight to see if you're LukeVonKarma. And there's the Demeter coming down. It looks like he's going to be bringing it down with 3, and I imagine the Equilinks effect is going to shortly follow. There it is. It's going to force out something from LukeVonKarma here, or just let it go through. Looks like he's going to let the Nexus go through, and then he is going to Tsunami. That seems like it might be a little bit out of order here, because by firing the Tsunami in response to the actual nexusing of Equilinks, he actually is going to still allow the Mudlet to change a battle position back. That might be a little bit of a misplay here. Yeah, the Mudlet gets to go right back into attack position. Mudlet is still able to swing over the Drakid. Oh, that is gonna be absolutely painful. We go into the Galaxy here. Galaxy's gonna develop and immediately go up to a 5 attacker. Absolutely critical here. But the question is, what do you want to take out, the Equilinks or the Mudlet? With Equilinks still on the board, you're not going to be able to develop back row, and it looks like he is going to attack over the Equilinks here. So that does kind of clean up the state, but you do still have that 2-spirit Mudlet there, and all he has to do is re-enchant it. Oh no, here comes the Elechick to get another copy of Demeter into rotation. That's going to be really powerful too, because the Demeter now can just boost up one of his Elestrals and allow it to get over the Galaxy. But the question is, does BeanSoldier want to go ahead and commit the second Demeter here in case that back row is something live? And it's the Shield of Achilles coming down. Oh my gosh, that's going to block him from being able to remove the Galaxy this turn, as it's going to bounce the boosted Elechick back to the hand. Oh, and here comes this Ascension into DRAKKING. Oh my gosh, this is an absolutely critical movement. BeanSoldier has no back row to protect from this. If DRAKKING goes in over that Mudlet, he's going to be able to steal it, and that's exactly what's about to happen. DRAKKING is going to steal the Mudlet here with a Water or Lunar Spirit underneath it. Looks like he's going to go Water, probably to play around a potential Tsunami, though I imagine BeanSoldier doesn't have that in his list at all. And then swing in for 1. With that, the advantage of this game has absolutely swapped over to LukeVonKarma. He has the board presence here. We're seeing paying off the Demeter, and 1 from Spirit Deck to Earthquake out the DRAKKING. Oh, absolutely critical spirit management there from BeanSoldier. He has the other Demeter in hand, so he doesn't mind losing it there. He brings down the Cyanectar here. You have to imagine he has the Poison Tunic, and there's the Poison Tunic. Oh no, head in his hands from LukeVonKarma. This is gonna allow Cyanectar to boost itself up into the one and only Waspivy. That thing is going to also be completely immune to counter runes now, thanks to this push. And the Poison Tunic is still going to be critical, because when he destroys his Mudlet in battle now, LukeVonKarma is going to take 2 spirits worth of damage. This is going to be a 3-spirit battle here. That's going to be absolutely critical to turning the tide of this game, and that's exactly what happens here. LukeVonKarma taking 3, going down to 8. He still holds the spirit advantage, but BeanSoldier with that Waspivy, you have to imagine he's sitting pretty chill right now. Unless LukeVonKarma can find a way to out that Waspivy quickly, it's kind of going to be all over. And there goes down the Astrabbit, definitely looking for something to take that Waspivy out. Something like an Earthquake or a Cryoblast would do the trick. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and just set 1 back row and pass it back. It is not what you want to see into the counter rune immune Waspivy. Another Cyanectar coming down here. You cannot tell me You can't tell me that this guy already has it set up. Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's just going to be pushing damage with it. Waspivy's going to go over the Astrabit. Cyanector's going to go direct for one, and goes back to LukeVonKarma. He's going to develop another one of the Funny Bunny. The Funny Bunny is going to get a chance to dig, and looks like LukeVonKarma got an Ambrosia at some point in this and is going to get 3 spirits back. Looking on it, he's getting back a Fin, a Fin, and a Fin. That's not really, like, it's pretty standard, but it's not really what you want to be seeing right about now. You want to be seeing something that can answer that Waspivy. It doesn't have that high of a defense, and Eddie would do it. BeanSoldier is going to draw for turn, and it looks like he is going to be ascending over his Cyanector. Oh no, into another Waspivy! And doing a hard ascension over Cyanector that way keeps Waspivy's immunity up. So both of these Waspivies are completely immune to counter runes, and you have to imagine this game is just kind of going away now. BeanSoldier might be low on spirits, but he is very much ahead on his field advantage. One Waspivy is going to clean up the battle, and the other is going to go in for 2 to the face. That's gotta be painful here. LukeVonKarma desperately needing something that he can get out, but BeanSoldier's playing this very smart. He is not setting any back row to where Eddie into a rock and a hard place is not going to be able to clean it up because there's no back row to target. LukeVonKarma is going to develop the Dratagua here to recover back 2 spirits. You have to imagine it's kind of just a desperation play, desperate to try and find something to stay in this, and down comes the Viscerus. Oh no, if that thing gets over Dratagua, it's basically lights out for LukeVonKarma. There goes the Tsunami, so the Viscerus play is gonna get stopped, but the Waspivies will not go to defense mode because they are immune to counter runes. LukeVonKarma is gonna go down to 3 spirits on this play. Still no back row, still can't develop a rock and a hard place push. The Eddie isn't even going to be able to clean it up at this stage because you still got another Waspivy to deal with. I can't imagine what he could possibly go for here, but you imagine he's thinking about something. He finds the Cryoblast! He found the Cryoblast, so one Waspivy goes down, and it's all down to just, oh no, and he scoops from there. Rockin' a hard place is in his hand. There's no way he was going to be able to activate it with how BeanSoldier was developing his board. That is just unfortunate. With that said, BeanSoldier is going to take this one with a swift 2-0 and is going to move on to the top 8. Thank you all for coming in, and thank you for sticking around to this. We hope to see you throughout more of the Elestriad as things start to heat up even more.